I'm out in the Western Downs today, and just behind me is a car that is the result of the 1956 Suez Canal crisis, a British lord that didn't like the fact that there were lots of European cars kicking around London. It is a Mini. These cars were built from 1959 all the way up into the year 2000, and in 1999 they were voted second place behind the Model T as being one of the most influential cars of the 20th century. Now, the Mini was built by several different manufacturers in its lifetime, starting off with the British Motor Corporation and Austins being marketed as Austin 7s and Minis, and then later on in its life it was bought under its own marquee, and it is the Mini that we know and love today. The Mini is a car that defined a generation. If you were to conjure up an image of 1960s UK, the Mini would be one of the vehicles you would see on the road. They were used by everybody and anybody, from celebrities to the average person for their daily commute, right up to race cars, and they were absolute world beaters, with the Cooper S Mini dominating many a racetrack over the years and winning the 1964, 65 and 67 Monte Carlo Grand Prix. Locally at home, there's footage kicking around of Minis dominating the big V8s at Mount Panorama in the tight windy bits, only to run out of legs on the famous Conrod Straight. The particular Mini behind me today, we are going to see if we can get it running, but we are going to keep coming back to it and see if we can get the little car back on the road, because its current owner has got a bit of a story that goes with it, and I'm going to tell it to you as we work on the old girl today. So stick around, we're going to get some tools, hook into it and see if we can get it turning over and running on its own power for the first time in a long time, and hopefully over the coming year we get this Mini back on the road. Now, this little Mini has got a bit of a story about it. You see, Elma bought it back in 1999 at the ripe old age of 16. It was parked outside in the local Coles, and she immediately fell in love with it and decided to go inside, find out who owned it, and had a conversation with them. And when they were given a price, she went off, saved up her pennies, and came back, and then ended up driving away in her very own Mini panel van. Now, in 2005, she was getting a bit tired, and Elma decided it was time to give her a bit of a freshen up and wanted to repaint it in a bright lime green colour. So she sent it off down to a local panel beater. They pulled it apart, ripped the windows out, the interior got stripped out, they sanded it back, primed it a little bit, and then sent it down to the Goombungee tip. And it wasn't until someone at the tip recognised the car, rang Elma and said, "Hey mate, why is your Mini down at the tip in pieces?" So they went down and grabbed it, and since then it's been bounced from house to house. Friends and family have stored it for her because of the lack of funds, skills and time to get it back going. And now it sits here tucked in between a family friend's shed and the trees, just rusting away in the weather. We're going to spend some time today seeing if we can get the old girl going for the first time since 2005. But I want to keep on coming back to this car, because I want to see Elma rock up to the local car show in her brand new bright green Mini panel van. So let's grab some tools and hook into it. It looks stupid, but... Oh, hang on, here we go. All I've done is grab the fan here, and the whole engine cranks, and it actually feels really healthy. Spark plugs are a little bit gunked up, but not too bad. So the points on this are clean as a whistle. The rotor button's clean as, the spark plugs are clean as, so it's pretty much, I reckon, this isn't a case of it was parked because it was broken down. It was parked because someone pulled it apart and didn't do the job they were paid to do. So I'm going to grab a battery and I'm just going to run my little jumper lead setup, and I reckon we'll just get this thing cranking straight away. Let's get into it. So, ooh. Yep, all the spider webs just come out of the fan. I've got to stop doing that. We've got crank, which is good. Now I'm going to grab my test lamp and see if we've got a pulse signal from our points. Oh, well, that's live there. So we've now got a complete ignition circuit, and this should start. Yep, goes good. Okay, beautiful. Rightio, so we've cleaned our points and adjusted them a little bit. We've got a pulse signal going to our coil pack. Let's test the spark plug to see if we've got spark. And then I reckon this one might be a nice easy one. And Elma's excited. I'm excited. Give that a hit. Okay, just hold it down. Righto. All right, let's pop the air cleaner off and see how many mice have made homes in here. Oh, there's a heap of rat poo there. Oh, there we go. Now this car hasn't started since 2005, and Elma is just off camera eagerly awaiting to see this thing running under its own steam for the first time in a long time. She's got the kill switch, so I'm hands-free here. So when you're ready, mate, let's see what we can do.
Ready?
Steady. Just stop there. Righto. Oh, not getting fuel. That's all right, we'll just choke it a little bit. Righto, mate, give it a go. Hang on, stop. Let's just check. No, that's all right, because our earth clip came off before. So we're good. We got power there. We got power there. Just give that a go. Steady. Go there.
Go again?
Yep. Steady. Righto, go there.
You ready?
Yep. Righto, try again. Oh. Yep. Yep. Oh, wants to go. Yep. Oh, come on, baby.
Ready?
So close. It's firing and then throwing the starter motor back in. Go again. All right. So we're having some dramas. We've got spark, it's firing, but I'm just going to pop all the plugs out. I was getting a little bit excited and thought that we'd be able to bypass the step of checking the plugs, but I'm going to rip them out because it's firing, but she's not running. So the plugs all might be dirty. So let's pop them out and have a look. Now, for those of you who don't know where Dalby is, it's in the middle of cropping country. So wheat, sorghum, corn, cotton, you name it, it grows out here. And what do you get when you get crops? You get mice. And mice don't just eat crops, they eat electrical cables too. So this high tension lead has seen better days. I'll just trim it back and we'll just jerry rig it so that we can get it going. But we're gonna have to get a new ignition lead for the old girl. But we're only going to be starting it in the driveway here, so this is going to do the job. Righto, crank that, see what it does. Oop, there we go. Go again. Yep. Yep.
Yep.
There you go. So it wants to.
It wants to go.
Yep. Come on, you bloody thing. There you go. Oof.
Oh, it's ready.
Yeah, right.
Where's she not going?
Go. Stubborn. Yep. Come on, you bugger.
Ready?
Yep. Oh, that's better. Yep. Yep. So, there we go, ladies and gents. The Mini runs. All we need to do is flick this switch and it coughs and splutters. And it coughs and splutters again. And it coughs and splutters. So, here we go, ladies and gents. We've got our kill switch. And we've got a Mini that runs under its own steam. So here we go, ladies and gents, we've got our kill switch. Whoa, and we've got a Mini that coughs and splutters and does not want to start. All right, what's going on here? So there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. Our little Mini has come back to life. Now, it's a really sad story how she ended up sitting here next to someone's shed wasting away, but at the same time, it's a really cool story how Elma got this car into her possession. So I'm going to switch it off, see if I can get some air into the tyres, because I want to see the little Mini moving under its own power. And if we can do that, that is a good step forward. Oh, that's lucky. Might be able to get the whole thing up off the back. I've tried to put a little bit of air in the tyres. They're just way too far gone. We're not going to get the old girl moving today. We're going to have to save that one for later. But we do plan on revisiting Elma's Mini because it's got a really cool story in how it came into her possession when she was 16, and a really sad story in how it's ended up here in pieces sitting behind someone's shed. Now, at Real Steel Rescue, we are all about preserving Australia's motoring history, but more importantly, we acknowledge the link between tinkering and mental health. So what we're going to do is come and grab Elma's Mini, take it back to the shed, donate some man hours, and if you're out there watching and you can donate some time, labour or love, sing out, because we would love to see Elma's lime green Mini rolling into the next car show with her smiling behind the wheels. Until next time, keep it real.